Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Capitalist speaking on behalf of SESN on SBC. I'm going to be joined here tonight by Cool Dude, former player for the St. Louis Archers slash Fubon Guardians. The first pitch here in cameras. Here in Florida for the Florida Flamingos, Pittsburgh Stallions. I'm on an alt account. For those of you who don't know, got rude on my main.
Capless was banned for cheating. Don't let him BS you
Yeah.
guys. He was cheating even though he doesn't even play in the league.
Because the internet here on my campus is really bad, so it thought I was teleporting last play at HEBB. Cloudz on the mound for Florida, excuse me. We'll do the echo. Logical proposal steps in and hits that one well to left center field, splits the outfielders in the gap. Running first and heading second now. We'll do that low-key can't. Too laggy. Pulls up with the first hit of the day, sorry.
I think I can do it delayed on your Twitch.
Here is Chiazar batting with one out and one away. I mean, one on and one away, excuse me. Bit befuddled. Stands. He has a very good season. Hitting 548. Back of the bat. I believe he was an all-star. Actually saw Cloudz pitch in the game. I think he was the losing pitcher in the first game. The one that the Edmonton team, led by Bonds, lost 10-1 to Eric Mai's Chicago team. Here's the 1-0. Fouled, third base side, and the count evens at 1-1. And the pitch. Hit up the middle. That ball is going, and it is gone. Oh, I didn't think it was going to clear the wall. Well, Chiazar with a 2-run home run, and it's Pittsburgh 2 and Florida 2. Well, I guess he just muscled it over center field wall. Got enough of it. Didn't look like it was going to be gone. I thought it was going to hit off the wall. 2-0. The base is now empty for the four-man up.
It's got to be a great way to start the game, trying to get in for a playoff spot.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Pittsburgh more looking for seedings. I don't know if Florida's actually clinched or not. I think they have.
Looking at the standings,
No,
so far Florida
they
is
have.
in the playoff playoff contention, but is not clinched yet.
Florida would need
So this is a must win for Florida.
Anaheim or Houston to lose, or just to win this game. Only final from across the league is the forfeit in Fubon, 9-1 to the Arizona Firebirds in the third inning.
That was not a fun game to play in. I can say that firsthand.
Jair swings and misses, and the count goes 1-2. Cloudz needs to settle down after that quick 2-run home run by Chiazar. And the pitch. High 2. Still trying to find my good home plate. Excuse me. Here's the 2-2. Swung and hit up the middle over the head of the shortstop. Shortstop misplayed it and came in for it. Left fielder is up with it for the first. Sorry. For the third hit of the inning. Fooled me for a second because the bases are empty. The top of the first. One on and one away for AB4. 18. Goes 1-0, taking all the way. The pitch. On the corner and foul to the third base side, out of play.
Not want to talk about pitching as I've only pitched one game, but I do think this pitcher is starting to get a little bit repetitive. And they might be starting to read into that, causing a lot of long hits.
Yeah, I mean, sequencing is a very big portion of a lot of these IPU pitchers' repertoires. Some of them are a little more basic. Ball strike, strike. Some are slow, slow, fast. Slow, 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 fast, etc., etc. Very true. The 2-1 is popped to the pitcher's mound. It's going to be cut on the fly by Cloudz, who throws the ball away into center field. Not far enough for the runner to tag. So here is A.E. Butler. Butler batting .474. Another very talented Pittsburgh bat. And the pitch. High, 0-1.
Pittsburgh seems to have a lot of all-stars. Well, not all-stars necessarily, as there can only be two, but people who would be in contention for an all-star spot, which is probably helping them have that first seed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of good bats up and down the order as Butler not prove my point, swings that one way in the dirt. Count even at 1-1. 2-0 here in Florida. 2-run home run by Chiesar with 1 out. And the pitch. Hit to right field in the gap, and that might score a run. Mad dash around from... Oh, it's a ground rule double. Bounced over the wall. That is really unlucky. 4 hits in the inning for Pittsburgh. Very unlucky ground rule double. Well, here is...
Pitcher seems
Sorry. Nick's 30 steps up. Apparently, it's his IPU debut.
pretty late to have an IPU debut, but let's see what he can do.
Anytime's a good time for a debut. Takes the first pitch 1-0. Runners at second and third and 2 away. Curve on the corner for called first strike. Ends the count. And the pitch. Inside 2-1.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like this pitcher is throwing ball, strike, and ball very consistently.
Let's see if we get strike 2 here. Cloudz' offering is on the corner, and I think that probably was a strike. So let's see if we have ball 3. Maybe he changes it up, but it definitely was ball, strike, ball, strike. Deuce's wild pitch is high, and the count goes full at 3-2.
This pitcher's just playing so repetitive. No wonder they can read in. Pittsburgh can read into these pitches.
I mean, he's changing his exact pitches, but the order is definitely the ball strike, ball strike. Here's the pitch. It's hit on the corner, and it's straight away center field. Oh, that is the wrong camera angle. It's caught for the 3rd out. So
pretty good at bat for his debut.
Yeah. No, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Go to the bottom of the 2nd, and the score is Pittsburgh 2 and Florida 2. Take it away.
So if he's going to be 7-0, he's batting .313. Pretty average for an IPU. Some would say above average. Not sure who's pitching yet. It's going to be another pitching debut for Nick's 30S. Let's see how he can debut for pitching. Sorry if I'm going to be a little delayed here. I'm having to watch the stream while talking about the stream. It's going to be way outside, probably a ball, and Toby's going to take it and swing at it. Here's the pitch, and a high, maybe ball, maybe strike. Toby's got to start locking in his eye a little bit. And he's going to lock in his eye at the wrong time. And strike out looking. Coming up to bat is Almighty Bayer, batting .246 with 3 homers. Florida's going to start needing some hits in order to compete with this great Pittsburgh team. That is not going to be the way to do it, swinging at inside balls. A good rule of thumb for these IPU pitchers is usually to take the first ball, usually to take the first pitch, as almost nearly every IPU pitcher throws balls. And he's gonna swing at another ball. This is another problem Florida's facing is just their hitters. Their hitters don't have good eyes, and they just can't get the ball downfield.
Well, we got one
One of
final
the better
score.
players.
Sorry, got one final score from the across the wire. Miami beat Anaheim 3-1. Gio pitched a complete game, allowed no earned runs. And they will have the first seed if Pittsburgh and Chicago lose.
It's gonna be right down the middle. Is it gonna get to first? No, it does not. It does not. Here steps up. It's Cloudz batting an even 333. He's gonna throw an inside strike. Cloudz is gonna miss it outside. It's gonna be a low left corner. Not sure if it was a ball or a strike, but Cloudz swings at it anyways. And it's gonna be straight downfield. Is it gonna be a catch? Yes, it is. And Florida once again is having horrible hitters, which is unfortunately something we've seen from Florida all season long.
Yep. No runs on one hit, no errors in one. Here is Nathan. Still Cloudz on the mound for Florida as Nathan takes ball one on the outside corner. Nathan, another one of those bats that Cool Dude mentioned, batting 409, entering today with a little bit of pop, couple home runs, swings and misses at a ball, so he finally changed it up. Check swing went around. Up the
Still
second,
throwing
and
that
it's
first
2-0.
ball pitch. He could get an easy strike some of these times just by throwing a nice corner strike, because most people are taking these.
He did get it on the corner for strike two. So Cool Dude prediction. Effective, as here comes the 1-2. And it's inside. Good take there. Evens the count at 2 apiece.
And he's gonna go back to his bread and butter of every other pitch being a ball or strike.
Oh, that 2-2 pitch is check swinged. And that was well in the zone for a called third strike. So here is Yelich, the Pittsburgh manager, I believe, batting for his first time today. Good managerial season, 1 homer, 3 RBIs, and a good 333 clip. As you know, the managers only get a maximum of 2 at-bats per game, and they must bat first or ninth. So a lot of these managers don't have the best stats. As that's hit out to left field, that's going to fall, that's going to be a base hit. So Yelich aboard with a 1-out single, and Pittsburgh back in the hit column. So here is Mr. Banana Piece, struck out looking to open the game. Sorry, I just messed up my... There we go. Thing. 1-1 now, as I was inside for strike. Another ball strike. See if we have a ball. You don't necessarily want to swing at every single strike, as that looked pretty low to me as he fouls it off to the first base dugout. 1-2 from Cloudz is well inside, and it's popped up to the pitcher's mound. He might get the double off here, and he does. That ends the inning on a double play. Pitcher to first on the fly. No runs. 1 hit, no errors, none left.
It's great.
And the score
It's great
after
feeling.
1.5 is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing.
Yeah, it's great fielding at its finest. A polar opposite would be that example of the Archers who just can't field absolutely anything. It's really unfortunate to see how the season turned. And that's hit right down the middle. It's going to be a bloop in between the 3 fielders. He could be going 2, but he's going to stay 1.
Area 1. Oh,
Ariel is probably not going to be happy with what happened last game. That's going to be hit at the wall, but the fielder's playing very far back and manages to get it. After the fiascos of last game, the Fubon, previously known as Archers, Ariel probably isn't too happy with a lot of these games and how they're going.
yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to Kill the Beast Jake. Craze is
Jake
banned.
did have.
Goodbye, Craze. Oh,
Why is Craze banned?
ejected. What?
Why did he ejected? Huh? What happened? I thought A.E. Butler got banned. Did he not?
Maybe not.
I'm gonna take a look here at suspension to see what's going on. I don't see anything in here.
Ariel might be PC checking Chiesar after that 2-run home run.
How does a PC check work for me and those who don't know?
I actually have no idea, if I'm being honest. I think what happens is you stream your screen and they go through your files, but I don't know how necessarily that works. I don't know if there's like a way.
Jake, we did see some new strategy entering the IPU league with Jake fanning the other team's fielders, which turned out to be a great decision as it allowed bunners such as myself to get on base when it was a direct hit to a fielder.
Well, yeah, I mean,
These are the innovations we need to start seeing to compete with these new gens.
like it's a really good strategy when you on and you fan the third baseman, so there's no one there to field the ball, and it's going to be a long throw either way. So it's just an automatic single.
It's just a great decision.
While we have a pause in the action here, I'd like to shout out tonight's sponsor, Carl's Clam Chowder, creamiest clam chowder in the Pacific Northwest. 12 strikeouts by the home pitcher, and you walk away with a steaming hot bowl of Carl's Clam Chowder. Carl's Clam Chowder, lobster bisque, and house-made oyster crack.
One thing, I've never had clam chowder before. However, I do love oysters and lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque.
Living in Florida, oysters are pretty abundant. You can eat them just about at any bar and restaurant.
That sounds like I might need to move to Florida. I do like myself a good Rockefeller oyster. I don't really like them though.
I do like Rockefeller oyster, cheddar, bacon. However,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with a good, salty, raw oyster with a nice cracker and some cocktail sauce.
I may have to have both at once to give it a fair evaluation. Where I used to live in California, the one fancy restaurant was a steakhouse. So we went there for graduation, there for when family came to visit.
Have you ever been to Charlie's Steakhouse?
No, we had a steakhouse called Larson. I think it's a chain. Probably a California chain. They actually had pretty good steak. Texas is supposedly the meat capital because I mean there is a lot of cattle in Texas, but I had arguably the worst steak I've ever had in my life at a Texas country club. That shit was terrible.
I'm trying
Like
to think of the worst steak I've ever had.
I kid you not, I've had a better steak out of an air fryer.
I don't disrespect an air fryer like that. Don't
Hey,
you ever do that again. You
hey,
hear me?
hey! I love my air fryer. I use it all the time. But it's like, you think a restaurant should be able to cook better than an air fryer? No. Hey, it was well cooked, the air fryer. Still,
Do you know Manny's Steakhouse?
no, actually. I think these are probably all like local or regional.
They're not really. Where do you live? Like what state?
I live right now in Texas. Colin.
Ah, Texas. Texas, Texas, Texas.
I definitely never heard of it in California, where I used to. So I think someone is checking for an alt. Someone is checking for. I don't know. I must be for an alt.
Is it illegal to alt if one of your accounts isn't banned?
Uh, I I think it well it depends. I know sometimes if they know who you are, like for example, let's just say like you got banned on Roblox for like a 1 day suspension and you can't play on your main and you play on an alt, then they know and that's okay. But if it's like an alt, it's like someone like, for example, like a major league ringer that came in with an alt and now is playing, then that's obviously not. You know, it's like a false identity thing. They have to know who you are. You can resume places airfield. Ready for you.
Alrighty, let's get going here. We're gonna start back up pretty soon. And with the starting buzzer, we're gonna start back up. Here we go. We have Isaac 777 up to bat. Not a great batter, but I mean it's rather average for a not so good Florida team at 143. At pitching is going to be JV4 with 70 strikeouts compared to 3 home runs allowed, which is a pretty solid ratio.
I don't know where Cloudz went. Or not Cloudz, sorry, it was Knicks. I don't know if Knicks is gonna be
Some
pitching.
debate. Apparently, he can't pitch.
Interesting.
Not sure what's going on. They are checking Nick's 30s for alting. He's been playing side leagues since a year ago. It's what the chat says.
Oh. I mean yeah, I mean it's the last game of the season. I can understand why the apprehension, but if he has a record, then I'd say just let him play. For those of you who don't know me, we don't know Knicks, main streamer here, Capulet, calling way halves. Was following St. Louis slash Fubon this year, so probably not the highest quality of play. And then last main league season, not this one, not season 20, season 27, I was following the Seattle Sonics on their miracle run to the championship series where they lost to, I believe, was the eventual champions in St. Louis.
We're going to wind up with a pitch here. It's going to be taken low left. Looked like a ball, but I guess it's going to be a lower left corner strike. It is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just going to wind up here for the pitch. Taken. I mean, swung at. Low left, possible ball. Kind of hard to see. It's going to be swung at again. This Florida team just has to get their batters with a better eye. That's simply all it is. And one of their better players, Allen 124, batting an impressive 444. He's going to show why he's batting that 444 with a hit down the field, but it is going to be caught.
Yep. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. So to the top of the 3rd we go, and the score is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing. Well, apologize for the long delay, as Allen is actually going to leave the game after this. Going to be Logical Proposal, who singled and scored last time up in the 1st inning. Pitching is still Cloudz, and he works his casual ball 1. So let's expect a strike here. It's hit up the middle. The left fielder was playing shallow, and he makes the putout. Oh my goodness! That's the shortstop. They don't have a left fielder. Fielder must be AFK. Well, talk about luck. Full grounds, short to first. Brings up Chiazar. Chiazar with that booming 2-run home run to straightaway center field. I thought it was going to hit the wall, so I wasn't very excited. And then it just carried over. Just got enough of it. The 0-1 from Cloudz. Hit towards the right side and through for a base hit. And it gets past the right fielder. Oh, that should be an outfield error. Rounding first and heading to second is going to be Chiazar. And he's going to get there standing. So, well, he decided to slide anyways. But he would have got there standing with a 1-out double. Brings up Jer. Jer was on the Sonics team that I mentioned, as was Riley Kias, who should be on deck by my recollection. Jer did not really get much playing time, nor did Riley Kias. Riley was actually signed. That was his first league experience. He actually debuted in the Major League before he debuted in IPU. Ono Misa Te Haciendo PC check. I'm going to imagine that's referencing Knicks.
I'm going to go ahead and Google Translate that for us because I have absolutely no clue what that means.
I'll say Jer. That might be Brazilian. I think Ja is the Portuguese. 1-2 corner pitch for a called strike 2.
It is Spanish.
Oh.
Damn, they're doing Master doing a PC check on you.
Yeah, damn is right on the last day of the season, but it is his debut game, so I guess there's a bit of skepticism. It's 2-2 now, as that was a knuckleball high, I believe. Just Cloud's really proven that he believes in his stuff. Keeps going ball strike, or strike ball. Well, Deuce is wild again with a runner on second and the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. He got him to chase. So it brings up JV4. So I think Riley's actually after that. JV4 flew out to... popped to pitcher for the 2nd out in the top of the 1st. It looks like Riley Kias is not bat for time. Probably just that delay that caused me to think of that. Well, 0-1 on JV4. Cloudz need to settle down. Oh and 2, swings and misses. Final score from Edmonton: San Diego 3, Edmonton nothing, and Anoma, Edmonton player, was suspended 1 game for, I'm gonna imagine, fan all-line. I'm gonna imagine. Well, San Diego, by the way, was eliminated by the Fubon Guardians in a brilliant extra innings performance. So they were just playing for pride, and pride they played for.
With 2 innings, with 2 home runs in the last innings, one of you, by yours truly just a show of pride and just not quitting.
Yeah. I mean, see, when Fubon showed up, they played well, despite Juju Adams screwing them. Foul to the first base side. So G24 stays alive. Runner at second and 2 away. The pitch down the heart of the plate, and he takes it. He is caught strike watching. Excuse me. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And the score after 2.5 is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing. Figure out who's pitching. I am unoriginal. How's that to the first base side? Out of play. Here is Pumpkin Bear batting a very not so solid 182 here in the 9 hole. Takes a good take. A slow ball just outside corner.
Apologies there. I had to go do something, but I am back.
You are.
Taking up to bat. Pumpkin Bear Graft at 182. Gonna swing. It's gonna go high or left. He's gonna swing at it, catching it low. Another thing regarding Juju is Fubon. I'm not saying they're a great team, but I'm saying they could have been better if the morale wasn't destroyed by Juju. Here's the pitch. It's gonna be swung on again way early, and nothing again. And Juju just screwed them. Juju's an absolute. And it's just one of those, you know.
Yeah, exactly what you said right there.
I mean, my God, he is just such an absolute and an abs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. For those of you who don't know, by the way, I originally thought Juju was just picked up for a game ban. We'll do Echo. Was picked up for a game ban, and then that's how he got banned from IPU. No, apparently he was just openly admitting in voice chats that he was exploiting it. Well, that's an easy way to get banned.
Yeah, it was so bad that it was in the IPU lounge VC after a game where he was just openly admitting it, and he's gonna strike out looking.
I mean, obviously don't cheat, but if you're gonna cheat, at least be a little smart about it. Otherwise, then you're just a waste of space. Not even cunning.
And he's gonna take the first pitch. That's a good just sleight of hand for many of you IPU batters who just starting out. Usually, just take the first pitch. Most IPU pitchers always throw balls on the first pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing against throwing a first pitch ball, but if you do it every single at bat, it's gonna get a little obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a chud activity. All right, Almighty Ballers coming up with 2-2. Here's the pitch. That's gonna be swung at, curving outside.
Oh, 1-2-3 went Florida in that inning. Side struck out. No runs, hits, no errors, none left. Or after 3 full is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing. So A. Butler coming up for his second at bat today. Swings and misses at a inside pitch. 1-1. Cloudz is still hurling for the Flamingos. His 4th inning of work. He finishes. A. Butler last time up. Batted as he takes inside. Batted behind Toby Dog. We didn't. He hit a ground rule double. That's right. He hit a ground rule double, and the first was left stranded. Well, the count now 1 and 2. As I was reading my makeshift scorecard, I was trying to keep score for the football game with my last scorecard as A.E. Butler. I don't even want to say what type of swing that was, but let's just say that wasn't a good swing. Well, here is the pitcher. I am unoriginal. 056. Nice. Well, much better pitching than batting, I guess. As he swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. A little bit of extracurricular here from the Florida backstop. It's Choco fans. Resettles back on the rubber. And the pitch. Nix is, in fact, not an alt. He is back in the game. So I imagine he will bat next time around. As the 0-2 is swung on a missed. Strike 3. Down goes I am unoriginal for the second strike today. As Yelich gets fanned. As Nix gets fanned. Gotta wait for the bod to give the official okay. Here's Nathan. That's grounded to second base. AFK probably was Toby. And the throw not in time, so base hit for Pittsburgh. That wasn't Toby. Toby is... Oh, no, it was Toby. Toby bats for Florida. Here's Yelich. Oh,
Capitalist, can you get general when you get time?
yeah, well. It's that foul down the third base line. First. As that is hit sky high. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to move. And it's going to fall for a Texas leaguer between second and right. The runners at first and second, and 2 away for Mr. Banana Piece.
It's just looking like this game is already getting too far for Florida to come back from.
If they keep it in a 2-0 score, it's possible. But they haven't really shown anything with the bat yet. Just 2 meager hits. Pittsburgh with 7. That's hit third base and caught for the final out. No runs.
Pitcher seems to
2
just
hits, no errors, and 2 left.
Pitcher's just giving up the first ball almost every time. I haven't seen him throw a strike on the first ball yet. Stepping up is Riley Cass, batting 1-1 today.
Riley, as I mentioned earlier, was on that Season 27 Sonics team for his first league experience, factored in that famous 10-run comeback against the Los Angeles Reapers to stay alive in the postseason hunt, and also promptly made the Reapers have their manager Big Nate resign, got replaced with Frog Rays for the end of the season, who changed the team to Portland. That's how bad that loss was.
Is there no mercy rule in ML?
I don't think so. Oh no, there is, but it's larger. It was like 10-run lead, and it had to be in the late innings, and Sonics just kept clawing back, so they did good.
Here's the pitch, low. It's gonna be swung at. These Florida at-batters just don't seem to have a good eye.
I believe this is Nix back on the mound.
He's gonna hit it fouled up right.
Like Caleb.
It's gonna be another foul left. Hello, Caleb. Be thrown low left, but he gets a hit on it. Oh, it is gonna be out.
Archers had a fun game? Yeah. And you had the most fun as the starting pitcher.
Yeah, Jake did have some pretty good plays last game, I would say.
I mean, that
By
that fielding, yeah.
by just sabotaging the fielding is something we haven't seen in IPU yet, and it sure works great.
Now I move on to M. Right. Too good for IPU.
And it's gonna be hit up. Looks like it's probably gonna be catch. Yep. And Florida just can't seem to get a hit. With a chance here with a 1-1 single about 271. No homers, but that really doesn't matter if you can get on base a lot. Here's the pitch. It's going to be low left taken, but it is going to catch the strike zone. Here's the pitch. It's going to be swiped across for a foul. That's going to be down the right field side. It's going to be caught. Oh my God. Florida just cannot get it.
No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left as the side was retired in order. Up the fifth we go, and it's Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing. It's a very important game. If Pittsburgh wins, they will be in contention for a tie for first, because Miami won. Miami, as it stands, the lone holder of the first position. Florida fighting to stay alive in the playoffs, but they're not really looking like they're fighting. Final score, as I said, Edmonton lost 3-0 to San Diego. Edmonton cannot have the first seed. I don't think they can have the second seed. As logical, just watched strike 3 looking as I was looking at the scores. On the outside corner, or first out here in the top half of the fifth. It's still Cloudz on the mound. He's been pitching good ever since he gave up that 2-run home run to the man at bat, Chiesar. Chiesar has been very, very lights out on the season for this Pittsburgh Stallions team. You're all good, cool. I saw. Here's the 0-1 to Chiesar. Hit sky high. That should be caught, but it's not. Toby was playing too far back, but he recovers in time to make the throw. And there was 2 down here in the inning. So here is Jer. Jer, as I said again. 1, 2. X-Sonic. Didn't get much playing time. I don't even know if he actually did get in that. But if he did, I missed that game. Want to know is it's inside. Can't really give opportunities to young, inexperienced players. He switches batting sides. If you're trying to win every single game to stay alive, and they did. They beat the Ravens, then they beat the Bags. As Jared gets a hit, it's over the head of the third baseman, and that's going to be a 2-out single. Brings up JB4. JB4, 0 for 2 today. Looking to get his first hit with 1 on and 2 away. Pitch. Inside, ball 1. Thank you all for tuning in on this on this Wednesday evening for some IPU baseball, last day of the regular season between the Pittsburgh Stallions and the Florida Flamingos. 1-0 is a quick pick and time. Got back for some final scores from across Major League Baseball. Cloudz steps back on the mound, and JB4 awaits him. Pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 1 on a curve way outside. Some finals from across the league. Astros and Orioles was postponed, by the way. Cubs beat the Padres 5-4 in San Diego as JB4 takes strike 2. Marlins won the series over the Dodgers as Hicks and Esteury Ruiz, ex-Athletic, ex-Dodger, hit a home run. Marlins won 3-2 at Dodger Stadium. 1-2, swung on a miss, strike 3 to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. As I ran out of ink on my pen, to the bottom of the 5th we go. Excuse me as I have my other pen that equally can't write. There we go. Score is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing. Lost Cloudz, who is calling the Florida halves. There is Choco. Choco, the Florida backstop tonight. Pitching is still NXT. Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 8-1. Red Sox just fired their head coach, Alex Cora, and their entire coaching staff. Guardians beat the Rays 3-1 in Cleveland on the back of a great outing from Gavin Williams, Rasmussen the unlucky loser. And another final. Mariners beat the Twins 5-3 as Choco pops that on a one-hop to first base. That's Jer, I believe, who will take it himself for the first out here in the bottom half of the 5th. So here's the Kosovan Izak triple. 0 for 1 today with no triples. Mariners beat the Twins 5-3, as I said. White Sox walked off the Angels. Colson Montgomery walk-off single in the 10th. Final score was 3-2. And the Rangers beat the Yankees on a Nathan Eovaldi gem 3-0. In other scores that are currently in progress, as Izak swings and misses, strike 1. Nationals lead the New York Mets 9-2, top of the 6th. Giants and Phillies was also rained out. Rockies shutting out the Reds 8-0. All 2 outside. Cardinals lead the Pirates 5-1, but the Pirates do have the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Tigers lead the Braves 3-2 through 6. D-backs lead the Brewers 4-2 through 3.5. And those are your games in progress. You by Hardware Haven. 2-2. Popped in the air. Looks like Eclipse is going to be there to make the catch for the second out. Here's Wicked Boy. Oh my goodness gracious. 0-7-1. Come back, cool.
Howdy, howdy, I am back. It's going to be Wicked Boys up, batting 71. Not a good at-bat ratio. It's going to take it far right. Here's another pitch. Swung at again. Another ball swung at. This Florida team just doesn't have an eye for the ball. And he's going to take it on the wrong one. That's a problem I'm seeing with this Florida team as they play more and more, looking at it from behind plate, is they just can't take balls. And after having 2 balls back to back, they swing at, they take it thinking it's going to be a ball. But when it's a strike, there's nothing they can do. They just have to get a better eye.
Yep. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left in that inning as they went 1-2-3 to end the 5th. Score still Pittsburgh 2, Florida 0 as Bless Shark steps in for his first at-bat today for the Stallions. Batting a good 246. Not a great player, but a dependable player. You always need a couple dependable players in your lineup. Cloudz is on, and that's a bounding ball down the third base line. It's going to be a long throw from the left-handed third baseman. In there for first out of the inning. Happy might be an AI commentator. Kayla, I'd like to see you give this a try without a microphone, and you tell me who the AI commentator is. Here is I am unoriginal pitcher, so I guess NXT was not on the mound for those prior 2 innings. squares to bunt and misses for strike one.
Cappy, are you an AI?
I am not a clanker.
No, I asked if you were an AI, and you
I
didn't respond to that. You
I'm
said you're not a clanker.
I'm not a
So, are
clanker.
you an AI?
I am not artificial intelligence.
No, you won't say AI.
I'm
So
not
therefore, you
AI.
are.
Not AI.
I'm not AI.
It,
That's exactly what an AI would say.
as unoriginal strikes out. Cloudz, as I said, last inning has settled down since that first inning where he gave the 2-run home run to Gazar. As here's Nathan, 1 for 2 to pitch.
We
Waved.
do
Oh,
love.
that was such a meaty pitch. Hung that hook in there. We love
We
that
do love
part.
Capitalist.
Well, I guess,
Capitalist been with us through. I would like to say ups and downs, but mainly just downs.
yeah. Downs
Yeah,
and
I'd like
eliminating
to
2
say
teams.
I'd like to say ups and downs, but it's really just downs the entire season.
Nathan gets that one down for a base hit, and the right fielder's AFK, so he's going to take an easy double. Kids these days,
It looks
always
like it
on their
might be a
phone.
triple.
Well, as long as you're not watching reels in VC during the game.
Which we've seen from an Archers player known as Astro, also known as the bunt beater, who has bunted nearly every pitch this season.
Flipso is making his first at bat today. Someone send me the SCSN streaming disc. I'll send it to you, Caleb. 0-1 is swung on a miss. You sent me 40 M's. I didn't even realize.
You're a very busy man, I see.
It up the middle, and that is gonna be caught. Oh, a good catch there by the shortstop to save a run. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. Or excuse me, 1 left. The score after 5.5 is still Pittsburgh 2.
Here comes Florida up to bat, down 2-0. They're gonna have to start making a move here. It's the what, 5th inning?
Bottom of the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th. They are gonna have to start making a move here if they want to compete with this great Pittsburgh team.
The big catch. Cool, dude. While we have some time here, you want to share some more thoughts you have about Juju Adams?
You know, I just like to say Juju is such an absolute, and what up, but yeah, I mean Juju, I just can't say anything besides he's an absolute piece of, and a not, and an app, he's such, but those are my thoughts about him, Capitalist.
Yeah, I mean, well said, honestly. And Kayla says, "Let me stream." Kayla, you and what mic?
Also, I've noticed is Kayla gets mad at people for not talking in the VC, but doesn't talk herself. And it's gonna be hit in the middle. Nice bloop here. It's gonna make it the first, rounding first, but it's gonna stay. Up is gonna be Toby Dog. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, batting 300. Here's the pitch. Strike 1 taken. It's gonna be way outside, an easy ball to take for Toby Dog. And Capitalist is insulting people in general. Not something we see out of the kind-hearted Capitalist.
Yeah, I just had to give him some love.
Some love, as I quote, Fatty McFat, shut up, Thomas, go back to Chandler.
Hey, I would never say such a thing.
You know what? Capitalist is such a nice guy. He would never say stuff. Now, the same thing couldn't be said for Juju, who's just such an absolute and a us archers, or now Fubon Guardians, after they finally put our name change request in, just don't like Juju too much. How do you feel about Juju Capitalist?
I mean, I don't think my microphone has the ability to censor, but let's just say some of the things you've been saying over here in the booth are pretty accurate to my thoughts.
It's the soundboard. It's the soundboard.
He's one hell of a... That's about my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just such a net. It's gonna be hit fouled up right. It's gonna be hit fouled up right. Juju was actually featured on the top rookies of the season article.
I think they should have. I hope they changed that afterward. I don't think whoever made that cared that much. Riley Kias, IPU All-Star, and tearing the cover off. Very nice to see him with his regular at-bats, as opposed to, of course, coming off the bench in main league last. Doing really well. He may or may not have been introduced to the league because he may or may not be Bellinger's cousin, and that's may or may not how he got on the Sonics. But to tie my tongue and say blood would prevent him from showing off what obviously is a good bat, it'd be a little unfair. Okay. Maybe not the best showcase. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Score is still 2-0. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And Pittsburgh looks to be cruising towards a tie for first and will perhaps see a tiebreaker game. We briefly pause for station identification on this network. This is the SCSN on SBC, the Seattle Electronic Sports Network on the Seattle Broadcasting Company. Game brought to you by Carl's Clam Chowder, creamiest clam chowder in the Pacific Northwest. Clam chowder, lobster bisque, and house-made oyster crackers at Carl's Clam Chowder. Here's Mr.
Quick
Banana
question,
Peas.
Cowboys. How much do they pay you for every you talk about Carl's Clam Chowder?
They pay me about 2 Robux voice appearance. Mr.
2
Banana
Robux.
Peas steps
I
in.
do love. Oh,
What do you love?
I do love the clam chowder from.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out who this is. Excuse me, while. Actually, you know what? We'll wait 1 at bat so I can see who's pitching. Mr. Banana Peas takes strike 1 from the new pitcher. Cloudz is done for the day. He pitched an admirable 2-run game over the course of 6 innings. Gave up 10 hits, but scattered them very well. That 2-run home run by Chiesar, I think I've said about 4 times now. Here's the 0-2. Oh! He got fooled by the knuckleball way high. And, oh brother indeed. Back out swinging. Let's figure out who that is. Mighty baller.
My favorite pitch is, fast, 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 and then a nice slow knuckleball right down the center of the strike zone.
I mean, couldn't hold up as logical takes strike 1 on the outside half of the plate. Looks like Almighty is humming them in there. He's perhaps pitching to contact, a lot more strikes as opposed to Cloudz, who just was insistent on alternating every single pitch. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. He tried to check, but he went around. 0-2 on logical, 1 for 3 today. Had some good swings, but a lot of bad ones in there. He pops that one foul to the first base side. First baseman giving chase, and Cloudz needs some nice warning track. How does the warning track taste, cool dude? I know you've fallen down a couple times in your IPU career.
Okay. Well, first game, I actually fell down in the warning track and threw the ball like I was a paraplegic. It barely got out of the warning track. Safe to say, I didn't make that mistake, and I ended up facing wherever I was throwing following that incident. Um, we've seen that a lot from our team, such as a good player named Acurus throwing the ball directly into the wall. Um, it's just unfortunate that some of these things happen to our team.
Well, good thing it can't happen anymore as the season is over. Nix flies out to right field after the almighty strikeout looking. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. So to the bottom of the 7th we go. The score is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing.
Where's the stream here? Ah, there we go. All right. Cloudz is up to bat. It's a rather solid pitcher for Florida. It's going to take that down the center of the field. It's going to be shot right between the three fielders. He's going two with it. Can he get there? Yes, he can. He's going to have plenty of time.
Sure helped his cause there. Got a score, Florida. They could really use a run.
They have to win this in order to. They have to win this. It's practically a must-win game. As right now, I'm going to check the scores really quick to see if Florida has a chance if they lose. Anaheim Stars have lost, so that does give Florida a buyout in case they lose.
So they clinched the playoffs?
They could clinch the playoffs with the loss of the Houston Bulls.
See
If
what
the
happens.
Bulls lose, however, I would if I was a Florida PM, I would still like to think of this as a must-win situation.
Yeah, you don't want to put the fate in another team's hands. I mean, it's always nice when it happens, but like
An
a lot of
example
it.
was seen by the Archers yesterday, allowing I think Houston's playoff chances to stay alive.
Oh, by forfeiting?
I believe no,
No, no,
by
no. They beat Houston.
we beat Houston,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
With the 2 homers by a new free agent. His name's Cool Dude 7. He's pretty solid at the game, batting a 390 with around 55 at bats. Open to major league signings. I have no clue who he is. I have no affiliation to him, but I've heard he's pretty solid.
Definitely isn't you. I agree. Well,
Here's the
Florida
pitch.
finally put 2 hits together. You think they can score here?
And it based on how this guy's swinging at 0-2 as he just swung nearly into the other batter's box, I'm not seeing it.
Maybe if he bunts. You get Astro in for a tutorial.
Astro should be a coach next year on just purely bunting. And he's going to swing. Florida just needs to have better-eyed batters. Although, I would like to say, here's the pitch. And it's going to be taken. Wow, good eye. I would like to say, I don't think anyone can have a worse eye than the one batter I faced in Edmonton. I threw him balls. I threw him 3 balls on the other side of his face and into his face, and he took every single one of them.
It's a good chance for Florida to score. 2 outs, but Juno, very talented hitter.
Batter. Here we go. This could be what Florida needs to push them over and get them in the lead.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna be down the middle. Is he gonna get home? No. And Florida doesn't look like they're making any ground here.
Yep, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Or after 7 full, it's still the Stallions 2, and the thing goes nothing.
The Ravens are up 3-0 against the Bulls, though. I'm looking right now. That could give Florida an out in
So
case
there
they
would be
do
a,
lose.
as it stands, by the way, that is first pitch swinging by Jer is hit down the right field line, and that's going to bounce for a base hit. Heading first and heading second, but he's going to head back as a throw came in time. 7th hit of the day for the Stallions. 2-5 from Florida. JV4 steps up looking for his first hit.
Yes, what were you saying there, Capitalist?
I was going to say, if those results hold and the result in today's game, the Bulls will be eliminated. Obviously, Anaheim was eliminated with their loss, so Florida will be safe, as will Minnesota for those final 2 playoff spots. Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Miami would be tied for first. So there would be a 3-way tiebreaker. How it was planned in Main League last season, if there was going to be a 3-way tie between Seattle and Portland, as JV4 squares the bunt, and it's a good pickup by the catcher. Runner has to stay at second. Sacrifice.
Now, the
Catcher to
Fubon
first.
Guardian. The Fubon. Oh, I apologize.
No, you're good.
Okay. The Fubon Guardians do have a chance to get in. If the top 5 teams above it do have evidence of exporters, the Fubon Guardians could get in that last playoff spot.
You never know. You never know. As Bless takes the ball one.
Some might say it would be rather unfortunate if an AI clip was made of those teams cheating. An AI clip made using Vigil AI would be pretty concerning on the 30th of April.
If
That
all
would
if
be
all 5 players coincidentally have a deep fake of them admitting to exploits.
Yeah, that would be pretty unfortunate, you know.
Bless swings and misses. Strike 1. Sorry. Completely forgot to... Oh, no, we did commentate. I'm tripping. Never take a substance in my life, and yet I'm tripping. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a miss. He golfed that one out of the dirt. Count goes to 1-2. Those of you who actually follow me on Twitch for some reason, we were trying to do a radio cast as Bless swings and misses at a knuckleball right down the middle. We were trying to do a radio cast of the Fubon game against Arizona, and then it got a little too ugly, so we did not. We actually did technically finish the game because it was a forfeit in 3. I wasn't intending to finish.
Update on my end. I do believe my PC is tweaking because it says I have 18 viruses with an off-brand Norton. Hopefully I don't get all my data leaked to Russian hackers, but we will see.
Well, if it's not Russian hackers, I hope it's Chinese hackers.
Chinese hackers are pretty smart with their hacking. I cannot lie about that.
An original fouls out 1. Back to the screen. Been good on the mound in relief of the starting pitcher NXT, who was removed from the mound for being accused of being an alt. He was in fact not an alt, he returned, but he cannot pitch. Takes that in the dirt, but 1. That is not how you kick. Here's the 1-2. Hit to shortstop. The long throw is going to be in time to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. The score, after 7.5, is still Pittsburgh 2 and Florida nothing.
See if Florida can make a move here with Pumpkin Bear Grass.
It looks like Bear is going to score.
Here we go, and a swing and a miss. I'll tell you what, I do not see this Florida team beating Pittsburgh with the way their batters have been batting.
They got 6 outs left. They kept the score at 2-0 the entire game. Really settled down if those early innings of a lot of traffic. But yeah, like, what are we doing?
And he's going to swing at a way low left ball, which farther proves the point of Florida just having a bad eye.
Oh, what?
Here's
That
the
was fair?
pitch, and somehow it's fair. It's almost as if it was a bunt, and he's out. G22, Toby Dog, 0-3. It's gonna be right down the middle. I think it's gonna be
Oh my.
high and catchable. I can't see, and it
That
is
fell for a hit.
safe. And that is a absolute error, and he completely misses it. Take on the first pitch, good take. Toby's batting average went from 333 and it's now down to 270 due to this game. It's quite unfortunate having bad games in IPU due to the low amount of at bats. It can really wreck your average. Almighty Baller batting 0-3. Gonna take that way outside. No way he was reaching that.
Maybe if he gets an arm extension surgery, it does.
Yeah, maybe like in Happy Gilmore where they like cut his spine or whatever, so he can wind back all the way.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good.
You know what I'm talking about? Do you get
I
the
have
niche?
watched Happy Go. It's a good movie. Oh my god, they're gonna
Yeah,
score! No, it's a ground rule double. Oh.
oh, and Florida doesn't score.
Oh my goodness. That is very unlucky. That was surely gonna be a at least one run.
Florida. It's going to be a ground ball, left side foul. With another scoring opportunity, Florida has with Cloudz to do it. He's 1-3. Rather solid pitcher. See if he can hit. And what is he swinging at? Another example of just terrible eyes for Florida. He's swinging at balls nearly in the other's batter box. He takes that one, learned his lesson.
Oh my god.
He's going to be. Dear God. How do you feel the eye has been for Florida this game?
I think I would do better with my glasses off. I
I
think I would
don't
do
think
better.
I would be talking all that smack, capitalist, as I have bet. As for those of you who don't know, when I 1v1, I throw nosebleed pitches, and he
Alright.
swings at most of them.
Well, that's because of my glasses on. I actually did pretty good today in the public server. You know, very in line with main league. Basically the same.
Yeah,
I actually did hit a home run. My first career home run on the kebab 1 2 3 4 5. And it was no
that's
cookie. The 190 mag.
that's wonderful there. You know, public servers. Such example. Today, I had a public server allow a 3-1 homer on a bunt. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. A 3-1 homer on a bunt
Hey.
with a full field.
Oh, okay. Well, that just makes it even worse.
With a full server, and it wasn't like they were AFK holding the ball. They were throwing the ball which and every way into the stands, into the wall, and it was a bunt 3-1 homer.
Well, here's a
That's
clip.
something
So
we would see out of the Archers.
yeah, yeah. That exactly. I was about to say that actually. That is very Fubon baseball. The Calypso swings and misses for strike 2.
I keep forgetting to call it Fubon. After we
Yeah.
got our name change,
Basically the same
a
thing.
month.
G22.
I will have to be going after this inning, unfortunately.
It is the top of the ninth. Flipso swings and misses. Strike 3 for the first out. Here's Mr. Banana. Banana hitless today in 4 at-bats.
You got to head out. Thank you for having me. Talk to you
Alright,
next time.
yes. Thank you, Cool Dude. Cool Dude All-Star for St. Louis. Flash Fubon on the call for the Florida hat. Nice having you on. Hope to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Signing off, Cool Dude.
As it's 0-1 on Banana as he fouled that to the third base side. Or at second is Steve as the count evens at 1-1. Juno trauma dumping that his girlfriend broke up with him. So low-key I can't talk because last time I got broke up with, I was not very happy. As Mr. Banana Piece does some extracurricular to Coco the catcher. Apologize for showing that on our stream. And then fouls that to the third base side, and the count goes 1-2. After this, I'm going to go down to my dining hall and eat dinner. I have not ate yet today, and I hope that they have something good to eat, or I'm going to be very upset. That's grounded to the pitcher's mound, and it's going to be fielded cleanly. Pitcher to first for the second out. So here is logical 1 for 4 today with just that one double. Runner on third, and 2 away. As Juno fans legends about 5 times. 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count that high. 1-0. Logical. In relief of Cloudz, by the way, the pitcher, as he gets that one in there for a strike. Cloudz, 10 hits, only allowed 2 runs. So he pitched very good. Here's the 1-1. Hit down the first base line, and that is going to be fielded cleanly for the final out. So as APR, the man who is playing first base, steps up to the mound. To the plate. Bottom of the ninth we go. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a 1 left. It's still Pittsburgh 2 and 4-0. As APR swings at the first pitch, that ball is hit sky high to right field for the first out. 1 down in the inning. For those of you who weren't reading the chat, Chicago is leading Houston 4-0. Houston will be eliminated with a loss, and thus the Florida Flamingos will be safe. Would Minnesota? I have no idea if they're winning or not. Well, here's Choco, representing the second man to the plate here in the bottom of the ninth. In the hole, by the chat. Certainly a very talented bat, so they would hope that he would represent the tying run, as that means at least one Florida Flamingo reached first base in this inning. Here's the 1-1 from Jer, I believe it is. Oh, a good pitch, a curve on the outside half of the plate. For a swinging strike, he couldn't make contact with it. Here's the 1-2. Oh, he just repeated that pitch again, and down goes Choco for the second out. And here is probably not someone you want up in the clutch. Zach Triple, 0 for 3 today, with that 137 batting average. He has somehow hit a home run. You ask me how that happened. He swings and misses for strike 1. Well, 2 strikes away, Pittsburgh from tying for first. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the pitch. Oh, that was a tough take there. I would have swung myself. That's why I'm not playing in the IPU. So the count goes 1-2. On Isaac. 1 strike away from tying for first. The pitch. Down the heart of the plate for strike 3. And down goes Isaac. So that's your final here in Florida. The Flamingos shut out 2-0 by the Stallions. No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left in this particular frame. Stallions win on the back of a Chiazar 2-run home run. Take that tie for first with Miami, and as it stands, Chicago. Let's get the score. They're pitched very well in relief. 4 innings. Well, that does it here tonight from Florida. Flamingos couldn't put fate in their own hands. They did not get the victory, of course, but they should be safe as it stands in Chicago. It's 4-0 over the Houston Bulls. And as for Pittsburgh, they tie for first. They will play Miami in a tiebreaker. They will, as it stands, also play Chicago in a tiebreaker. So here's your final from Florida. Pittsburgh, 2 runs on 12 hits. I believe they made 1 error, if you saw, or maybe 2 errors. Florida, no runs on 7 hits, and they either made 1 or 2 errors. I obviously can't tell when an error happens, as I am not in the scoreboard menu. Either way, we thank you very much for spending your evening here with us on SCSN on SBC. This is Capitalist speaking on behalf and saying good night. Hope to see you for the playoffs and or the tiebreaker games. Capitalist signing off.